My name ring bells in my motherfucking town. At the Audi lot, I'm trying to hold a couple down.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rarri Vuitton, man. I'm back with another installment, Rarri Talks Rap. I got a really cool topic I want to talk about today. Something that's very near and dear. Again, something that I grew up with that was a very golden era in hip-hop, if you ask me. I'm gonna get right to it. I'm talking about the DatPiff LiveMixtapes era. That little gap between the CDs and the streaming services. First, we gotta talk about the history of mixtapes and hip-hop in general. When you have a mixtape, a rapper making a mixtape, the game used to look a little bit like pressing it up on a CD, selling it out the trunk, selling it on the street, handing them out, getting them to corner stores so people could go to the corner store, buy the CD from the corner store, try to gain a buzz that way and grow your career. But one of the big key factors in that whole thing ending, they slapped my man DJ Drama with a RICO charge in 2007.
They were arrested, the officers raided, and equipment and cars seized. They were charged under state racketeering laws, the kind most often associated with organized crime. The perpetrators celebrated mixtape DJs Drama and Don Cannon.
Raided his studios, took thousands and thousands of mixtapes. Real messy situation, big lawsuit. That was the time period where things in music and things in hip hop were starting to shift. That kind of started the emergence of some mixtape hosting websites where it changed from artists selling them and handing them out to people in person to uploading them onto these websites, allowing people to download them. This was kind of right around the time too where you had like Wiz Khalifa, Soulja Boy building up that YouTube world. So you were getting like YouTube music videos, full-length mixtapes or projects, getting them on these DatPiff sites where you could download the whole file. This was a beautiful time in hip-hop. The scene was really strong at that point. I mean, I can think off the top of my head, artists that I discovered on DatPiff was definitely like Mac Miller, A$AP Rocky, obviously a bunch of amazing Wiz Khalifa, Currency mixtapes and stuff over the years that were hosted on those sites. Huge artists for me growing up at that time. And then you go over to the live mixtape side where it was a little more of the street artists from down in like Atlanta, down south. Young Thug, Migos coming up. OGs like Gucci Mane, Waka Flocka, OJ the Juice Mane. I remember one specific artist from live mixtapes was Hoodrich Pablo Juan. He was a guy that I ended up getting into because I kept seeing him popping up. Finally just checked him out and yeah, I thought he was super dope. Specific things about that era that stick out to me that I find really fun and that I kind of miss. Outrageous cover arts, you know what I'm saying? I'll flash a few up here for y'all to see some of my favorites, but the really ridiculous Photoshop, Gucci Mane like dressed up as the Grinch, filtered green, and it's like, I don't know, it was fun. Once you did start the tape, get into the music, absolutely littered with DJ tags.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Like I said, I just was chaotic and I liked it. Throws me back to like the Lex Luger style of production, 808 Mafia days. It just seemed like it was a very exciting time in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? The scene was really strong at that point. You had the blog era too come through in this time. So this was a situation where there was a handful of blogs, like let's say Two Dope Boys, Nah Right, Fake Shore Drive, things like that, where those were popping up. They were scouring the DatPiffs and going to shows and going to South by Southwest and this and that. You were just getting put onto a lot of great artists at that time. On my understanding, there was no real revenue. These sites, I don't think, made a ton of money. It was mainly like promotional stuff with the artists. From what I know, I think you could probably pay live mixtapes 20 grand and get your mixtape up on the top of the charts. Same with DatPiff or something like that. So legality wise, I don't think that they were, you know, they might be teetering the line a little bit on the legal side. But again, this was like strictly promotional rights. You get the background for the day, you get to be in the featured one up top, and then you use that to get your name buzzing online. You try to get the DJs to host it, so then the DJs will play it in the club, get those relationships going, and then ultimately get booked or get a record deal or something like that. So this is kind of how it worked at that time. It was a pretty lawless thing. People were rapping all over other people's beats. I mean, you got my GOAT, Lil Wayne, like you got the Drought 3 and stuff like that in that period where it was just like, he's gonna take your beat. You had a hit song, that's fine for a day because he's gonna take your beat. He's gonna now make it his hit song. I would say like 2015 when it started declining, SoundCloud was becoming a thing. Things like Spotify was growing, Apple Music was growing. Overall, it just kind of buried the mixtape sites. Now all of a sudden you had artists and labels and everything that were putting out mixtapes. Now they're going to iTunes and getting exclusive deals. Recently, funny enough, saw one of the DatPiff dudes was on No Jumper and I watched it. Very good interview. Check it out. He was saying that basically there was something about Chance the Rapper, right? And he had a coloring book mixtape. DatPiff, I want to say, was going to give him like 50 bands, have the whole promotion or whatever, and host the tape. And he lost out on that bidding war because Apple Music paid him $1.5 million. So that's when he knew like it was the beginning of the end for the mixtape websites. Yeah, so ultimately, you know, I had to shed light on one of the best periods in my lifetime in hip-hop. That was one of the more formative and exciting ones for me as a listener, as an artist. Let me know what you thought of these sites, if you had any specific mixtapes that stood out, or any fun like anecdotes. You know, I want to hear them as well in the comments. It's your boy Rarri Vuitton, man. I'm here with Rarri Talks Rap. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking it out. Brought to you by my label, Suburbanite Records. You know what I'm saying? If you're fucking with the kid, man, hit the subscribe. I'm out. Rarri, peace.